Leathur Rokk. Welcome to my channel. As I carefully extricate these solar protection glasses from my face. You ever heard that saying, no good deed goes unpunished? Well, let me run some things by you and you tell me whether I'm making more of this than I need to be. Okay, baby, I'll put you down. The beach is pretty big, right? And when there's very few people on the beach, you can enjoy the nature of it. You can enjoy all the birds and the wildlife and the sun, the sand, and your conversations and all that. And so I go onto the beach specifically thinking, I'm going to film. That's what I do. And I would think whenever you see people talking into a device, people know you're filming or you're talking or you're recording or you're doing something. Am I right? And so I have my laptop, and most people, if you're talking in front of a computer, I think most people figure there's got to be a webcam attached. And even though obviously there must be some new people that have discovered my channel that have never seen these before, that maybe crawled under a rock somewhere and don't know anything about acting or showbiz or Hollywood or anything, and they don't know that these are clapboards and they are used in film production. And if I saw all these clues and I saw somebody talking in front of a device, I would kind of give them some berth so as not to ruin their audio. And so as I was trying to do the footage of my experience with the Eclipse, and I wanted to do so many more things than just create content. I wanted to work with my crystals. I wanted to experience the emotions that come with experiencing something like that, even though I wasn't in the path of totality. But when I heard that there were people behind me, and I'm thinking, you know what, they didn't seem to know anything about this eclipse, and I had glasses to protect myself. So, and they were curious as to what I was doing with the glasses, even though I'd already been talking on camera, and I was already in the middle of this video, or just started it. And so I decided, why don't I give them an experience, since they didn't know about this, and I let each of them watch, look at it through the thing. But what really bothers me, and I didn't speak up about it, was they sat so close to where I was trying to film. And they're speaking and speaking and talking and talking. They wouldn't shut up. And so I didn't want to raise my voice unnaturally. I shouldn't have had to. This is a whole goddamn beach. Why do you have to be 6 feet behind me when I'm trying to film? People do this to me all the time. I can't afford security, and I don't want to be rude. And on one hand, I want to help. I love the idea of showing people something that they wouldn't have gotten to see otherwise, that they might not have known about, that not everybody could get the protective eyewear of any kind to be able to even look at the sun. And I figured, let me be kind. And I wasn't expecting anything in return. But what do I get for letting them see this? They're talking and talking and talking and talking 6 feet behind me. You got this whole goddamn beach. And if you are watching this who happen to be the people that were there, maybe if you saw the footage, maybe you heard your voices. Every time I look at that video, I'm going to hear all the Spanish being spoken in the background and remember that all because people didn't have the common courtesy to give me some space. Why was the onus on me to move? And by the way, I felt too intimidated to move because I didn't want to seem like I was trying to get away from people. Also, I had quartz crystals on bare sand. I didn't want to take a chance of my leaving them behind. When you put these things on, unless you're looking at the actual sun, everything looks pitch black. You literally will lose your footing and walk wherever you don't want to walk if you only are looking through these. So, for about over a half hour, while I was trying to do my thing and be in the zone and I kind of go on autopilot when I'm making my videos. I do enough preparation ahead of time aside from if I have to consult with some notes or something, I pretty much am prepared mentally. I'm in a certain thing that I can kind of snap my finger and be. It's sort of like waiting in the wings for your cue to go on stage. You know when you have to be on. You're on. You do it. You know they announce give your name. You go out there, do your thing, whatever it is. You just can turn it on. Any actor can do it. Any dancer, any musician probably can do it. It's automatic when you have to perform. You perform on cue. It's basically what it is. But when you're outside and you're dealing with the unknown of you never know how people are going to be. People are notoriously unpredictable, and you it's like I would never think of interrupting if somebody was talking on the phone or something, talking to them. I would not get anywhere near them. I would not want to interject myself in or interrupt them in any way. And people think nothing of being loud when people are talking or creating content that people could be blogging all over the place, especially with something as historic as an eclipse. And you have people that just talk loudly and ruin people's audio. And I'm telling you, between that and half the time when I'm trying to film here in the studio, and I sometimes tell the brothers on the corner that are selling whatever it is they're selling, I'm about ready to film. And of course, I don't really like saying that because I don't want people, I want as few locals knowing about my channel as possible because guys, for the most part, when they hear a girl saying she does videos, what do they think? They don't think YouTube. They don't think cat videos. They don't think politics. They think dirty things. Just like when you say dancer, they don't think ballet, hip hop, uh, whatever. They think taking your clothes off. And they don't just think taking your clothes off but being a really good dancer. They think working in one of those places where you're basically sitting and spinning in people's laps and stuff. And where there's a champagne room where who knows what goes on. They don't think about real artistic dance. People sometimes, and by that I often mean men, but not always. I don't always want to be, I'm not a gender basher, even though I will call out people and concepts when I feel I need to. But why is it whenever I say, hey, I'm getting ready to do something in studio, then that's when people decide to have conversations right underneath my bedroom window. Or you'll have a guy who, he has this big, giant, triangular shaped not shopping cart, trash receptacle on wheels that a lot of the maintenance people in some of the casinos have. And this guy has it full of uh, toilet paper from casinos, has to be, towels from casinos, jars of peanut butter that have been distributed by organizations like food banks and Salvation Army and whatever that he has been trying to sell. Now, people should know by now, please don't hit me up thinking that I have money. One of my buddies one of my homeless junkie buddies, rang my doorbell 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday. And I don't mind because he is one of very few people that I specifically said, I don't care how late it is, if my light's on, I'm up. You're in trouble, as long as it's not about money. If you want, you heat one of them crappy Wawa sandwiches or something, ring my doorbell. I don't want anybody being hungry. He rings my doorbell. He said that he had a blanket that had a bunch of cat stuff on it. I like things with cats on it, right? But and I'm thinking right away, he's going to hit me up for money. He should fucking know I don't have that income anymore. My guitar income has been taken away from me thanks to that asshole cop on the 4 to 12 shift. If you were threatened with $1,000 fine, you wouldn't be out there trying to earn your keep either. Even though they don't do anything about the panhandlers and the drunks and the people doing, you can maybe sell something really, really terrible like fentanyl, or you could be a prostitute and you can get away with that real quickly, and yet stand out there with your guitar for a couple hours and you're a threat to society there. And the cops would definitely fuck with you. Not all of them, not even probably most. But this whole idea of expecting somebody to spend upwards of $300 on a mercantile permit when the money just isn't there, and especially when, because of your sun sensitivity and stuff, you can't be there in some of the earlier hours with more of the sun that more people can handle. The reason why this 4 to 12 cop is easier for him to gun for me is because, first of all, I can't be out there before 4 o'clock because the sun's so intense. I have to be very, very careful. But anyway, this whole thing that a person can't film in peace without people either being real noisy, like the people across the street and down there, or do you have to loiter across the street bouncing a basketball? This is not a basketball court. Do you guys who don't play sports know how obnoxious the sound of these balls are when they're bouncing on concrete in front of people's houses, when people are just trying to watch TV, listen to the radio, or do something with their computers, or maybe vlogging or doing something in their home? Don't people have any peace and quality of life in their homes anymore? Man, this is really becoming a drag. And again, I'm all for helping people share experiences that are supposed to be things that unify millions and millions and millions of people. I want to share. I want to give. I want to be a nice person. I don't want to be an asshole. But if you're going to have people who just seem to not get it, what makes a person talking into their cell phone something that people respect and back off? And yet, if you look like you're filming or you're doing something, people just talk behind you. I try to tell people, when you're talking around me, the kind of built-in microphone says this picks up everything. I don't know how to edit that stuff out. I'm stuck with crappy footage that has been forever ruined by the ambiance created just because you didn't give me a little space. Part of the blame is on myself that I wasn't more assertive and I didn't say something. But it's like after you've already taken your glasses off and shown everybody the view and then let them take pictures with their nice, expensive iPhones, which, by the way, considering the crappy kind of pictures that I get with this webcam, don't you think it would have been nice for them to say, hey, I'll email you a copy of the pictures, since they wouldn't have been able to get these pictures if I did not let them use these glasses. They wouldn't have had the experience if I didn't use these glasses. Again, if the people that I'm talking about happen to see themselves in this, the more I think about this, the more I can't help but feel resentful. Because so many times my footage has been really, really affected by people's lack of consideration. When you're filming, you need to have your space to film. Most of us small-time creators, we can't afford security to keep people backed off. And I don't want to be one of those showbiz assholes. But I can understand why people turn into them, because your guard's always up, because you don't know what people's motivations are. You don't know if people maybe just are totally clueless and don't realize that, hello, what I'm doing is not just for kicks. I consider it my job. I consider it my responsibility. I have this daily content that people have come to expect, and that means some idiot has to produce it, and I need to be able to produce it. And if people make it hard for me by interfering with the sound quality, by talking because you're literally, if we were driving, you would keep a further distance. You got the whole damn beach. Why do you have to do that? If 3 people talking, just because it's Spanish doesn't mean that my computer doesn't hear it. No good deed goes unpunished. And that's my thought for the day, which does not mean to discourage people from being kind, but be aware. I'll talk to you tomorrow.